Billie Eilish has everything most people dream of: awards stacked like souvenirs, a house big enough to echo, a voice that fills arenas. But this morning, none of that feels like it matters. The sky above Los Angeles is pale and heavy, the kind that makes the palm trees look still and lifeless. Through the half-open blinds, the light cuts in weak, silver lines across her kitchen. Billie sits in an oversized hoodie at the table, legs tucked under her, scrolling through her phone in silence. Her screen glows with stories that don't go away when you scroll past them. Families waiting in line 8 hours for food. Single mother loses job, skips meals for her children. Charities in LA out of supplies. She doesn't even realize she's stopped breathing until the silence of her house presses in. No music, no laughter, just the hum of the refrigerator and the sound of rain outside. She takes a sip of coffee. It's cold. For a moment, she just stares at her reflection in the dark window. The world sees Billie Eilish, the phenomenon, the voice, the fashion. But the girl staring back looks smaller, tired. Human. She whispers under her breath, so quietly even she can barely hear it. You sing about saving people, but when was the last time you really did? Her phone buzzes. Her brother texting. Studio at noon? Billie types, maybe later. She hesitates before hitting send. It's not that she doesn't want to work. It's that her mind is already somewhere else. Her eyes move to the corner of the kitchen. A pile of old cardboard boxes sits near the recycling bin. The leftovers from deliveries she never unpacked properly. And suddenly, something in her shifts. A strange idea flickers to life. Small, ridiculous, but alive. She leans back in her chair, eyes unfocused, the faintest hint of a smile pulling at her lips. No one else in the world would know what's happening in this exact moment. That a world-famous singer, alone in her kitchen, is about to make a decision that will touch hundreds of lives. She takes a deep breath, exhales slowly, and whispers again, but this time with certainty. Maybe I can help, and no one has to know it's me. Outside, the city begins to wake up. Cars start humming, birds cross the sky, and light finally breaks through the gray clouds. But for Billie, this is the beginning of something else. A secret, a mission, and it starts with one box. Billie walks through her living room, barefoot, the floor cool against her skin. The rain has stopped, but the air still smells like wet pavement and eucalyptus. She's quiet, not tired, just thinking. Her eyes wander across the shelves, the gold records, the framed photos, the awards that once made her heart race. They all feel strangely distant now. None of them mean what they used to. Because this morning, her mind is somewhere far away, in a small house she grew up in, years before fame, before tours, before all the noise. She remembers being little, maybe 8 or 9, sitting cross-legged on the carpet with her brother Phineas, surrounded by toys and old clothes. Their mom had said, "Pick a few things you don't need anymore. Someone else might." Billie had asked, "Why?" And her mom smiled the way moms do when they hope you'll understand something too big for your age. Because not everyone has what you do, and it feels good to give. That day, she and Phineas filled 2 bags, a teddy bear with a missing ear, some shirts they'd outgrown, a cracked puzzle box. They carried everything down the street to the neighbor's porch. She still remembers the look on the woman's face when she opened the door. Surprise first, then tears. Billie didn't fully get it then, but she does now. Back in the present, she leans against the kitchen counter, remembering that feeling, the quiet warmth of doing something kind, not for applause, not for views. Just because. Her phone buzzes again. Another email, another brand offer, another charity gala invite. She ignores them all. None of that feels real anymore. Instead, she grabs a notepad from the counter and writes one line in small, messy handwriting. "If you can help, help." She stares at the words for a while. They look almost too simple to mean anything. But the longer she looks, the more powerful they feel. It's an old habit, one her mom taught her, and maybe it's time to bring it back. Not on stage, not online, just quietly, like before. She folds the note, tucks it into her pocket, and whispers, "Okay, Mom, I remember." By noon, the clouds have cleared. Sunlight spills across the kitchen floor, cutting through the quiet like a spotlight. Billie's still in that same hoodie, hair pulled into a messy bun, notebook open in front of her. The page is full of half-scribbled thoughts, crossed-out ideas, arrows, messy handwriting that loops and breaks. She writes, give food directly. Then, find families who need it most. And finally, underlined twice, no press, no cameras. Her manager would hate this. The PR team would turn it into a campaign in seconds. Hashtags, headlines, photo ops. And that's exactly why she can't tell anyone. The moment someone finds out it's Billie Eilish, it stops being about the people who need help and starts being about her. She picks up her phone, scrolls through contacts, then calls the only person she trusts to keep quiet, her assistant, Maya. When Maya answers, Billie doesn't even say hello. I need a favor, she says. What kind of favor? The kind you don't talk about, Billie replies. There's a pause on the line. Maya's used to weird requests, last-minute trips, private rehearsals, secret meetings. But Billie's tone now is different, soft, serious, almost fragile. I need to find a few families, she continues. Ones that are struggling right now, maybe single parents, or people who lost their jobs. I don't want names, photos, nothing like that. Just addresses. Addresses? Maya asks, confused. Are you visiting them? No, not exactly. Billie glances again at the pile of cardboard boxes in the corner. Her mind's already racing ahead. She knows what she wants to do, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Just trust me, okay, she says. And please, don't tell anyone. Not even Phineas. There's silence again, then a sigh on the other end. All right, Maya says. I'll call around. Quietly. Thank you. Billie hangs up, sets the phone down, and exhales, the kind of deep breath that feels like the start of something irreversible. She walks to the window, watching the sun break through the clouds, cars moving far below like tiny silver fish. For the first time in weeks, she feels a pulse of excitement, not the kind that comes from applause, but from purpose. No cameras, no press, no spotlight, just one girl, one plan, and a promise to keep it silent. The next morning comes quietly. Billie's still half asleep when her phone buzzes on the nightstand. A message from Maya. Found something. Small local group in East LA. They help single moms and seniors. No media coverage. Super low-key. Billie blinks the sleep from her eyes and sits up. Sunlight spills across the sheets, and for a second, she just stares at the message. Her heart beats faster. It's finally real now, not just an idea scribbled in her notebook. She types back, can you get their contact? I want to talk to them directly. An hour later, she's on the phone with a woman named Rosa, the quiet, tired voice of someone who's seen too much need and too little help. Rosa runs a small volunteer center out of an old church basement, feeding families who've lost their jobs. No, we don't have a website, Rosa says gently. It's just a few of us. We do what we can. Billie smiles faintly. That's exactly the kind of people I'm looking for, she thinks. I don't want to donate money, Billie says. I want to help directly. Maybe send some food boxes. I just don't want anyone to know who it's from. Rosa hesitates. You want to stay anonymous? Yes, completely. There's a pause on the line. Then Rosa exhales, almost relieved. You know, she says softly, people always want their name on something. It's nice to hear someone who doesn't. Billie nods, even though Rosa can't see her. Could you send me a few addresses? She asks. Just homes that need a little extra help. No names, no photos. A few minutes later, the email arrives. 5 addresses. No details, just street names, building numbers, neighborhoods she barely knows. Billie clicks each one open, one by one. Simple places. Apartment blocks, single-story houses, cracked sidewalks. She stares at the map on her laptop, tracing the routes with her finger, imagining the people behind those doors. Mothers, kids, maybe someone's grandmother sitting by a window, waiting for something good to happen. Her chest tightens, not out of pity, but out of determination. This isn't about charity. It's about kindness, quiet, invisible kindness. She closes the laptop, stands up, and glances toward the corner of the room. Those cardboard boxes are still there, waiting. Tomorrow, she'll start filling them. By late afternoon, Billie's kitchen looks nothing like the one in glossy magazines. The counters are covered with canned beans, pasta, cereal, jars of peanut butter, and boxes of baby food. There's flour on the floor, grocery bags stacked against the fridge, and a half-open notepad with a list that simply reads, think like a mom. Think like a kid. Think like someone who hasn't eaten yet today. She pushes up the sleeves of her hoodie and starts working. One box at a time. She fills the first one carefully, not just random things, but meals she can picture being cooked. A can of tomatoes, spaghetti, olive oil, cookies. She tapes the top shut, then stops, thinking. It still feels too impersonal. Too cold. She grabs a stack of sticky notes and a black marker. On the first one, she writes slowly, in her own uneven handwriting. From a friend. It feels right. No signature, no clue, no name that could give her away. Just that. Simple, human, warm. She sticks the note to the top of the box and steps back. It looks small, but it means something. Then she keeps going. She lines up the rest of the boxes like soldiers waiting for a mission. In each one she adds something extra, a pack of crayons, a small bag of candy, a bar of chocolate, something for the kids. When she runs out of space on the table, she moves to the floor, sitting cross-legged among the cardboard towers. Her cat weaves between them, sniffing at the tape. There's music playing low in the background, not her own songs, but an old playlist she used to love before the fame. Hours pass. The light outside fades from gold to blue. Billie's hands ache from lifting, taping, writing, but she doesn't stop. She hasn't felt this focused in months. By the time she's done, the kitchen is silent again, except for the quiet sound of her pen scratching one last note. She tapes it on the final box, takes a step back, and smiles. 30 boxes. 30 chances to make someone's day a little easier. She turns off the light, looks at the soft shapes in the dark, and whispers, "Tomorrow, they'll find them, and no one will ever know it was me." The sky is still half dark when Billie steps outside. Los Angeles is quiet. No traffic, no paparazzi, just the low hum of the city waking up. She pulls her hoodie low over her face, slides on a black mask, and loads the first few boxes into the back of a small van she borrowed from a friend. It smells like dust and coffee, but it'll do. Her GPS glows faintly on the dashboard. Boyle Heights, East LA. One of the addresses Rosa's sent. Billie's never been there before. The streets are narrower, the buildings older. It's a different Los Angeles, the one most people never show. As she drives, the radio mumbles softly, a morning show host talking about traffic on the 405. She turns the volume down until it's just background noise. Her thoughts are louder. She wonders what she'll say if someone sees her. What if they recognize her voice? What if they open the door too soon? Then she smiles faintly under the mask. No one expects Billie Eilish to show up on their porch at 6 in the morning with groceries. The sun begins to rise, painting the sky in a dull orange haze. She parks a few houses away from the address, a small apartment complex with peeling paint and a cracked sidewalk. In the yard, she sees a few children's toys, a plastic tricycle, a ball half deflated. Billie takes a deep breath, opens the van door quietly, and lifts the first box. It's heavier than she expected, and her hands tremble slightly, not from the weight, but from nerves. Her heart races as she walks toward the building, sneakers crunching softly on the gravel. She stops at the first door, checks the address again. It matches. Her breath forms a small cloud in the cool morning air. For a second, she just stands there, listening. There's movement inside. Footsteps, maybe a TV faintly playing. She crouches, sets the box down gently, makes sure the sticky note faces outward, from a friend. Then she presses the doorbell and quickly steps back. Her pulse jumps. She walks fast, back toward the van, trying not to run. She slides into the driver's seat, hands gripping the wheel, eyes on the rearview mirror. The door opens. A woman in a robe steps out, confused. She looks down, reads the note, and freezes. Then she calls inside, voice shaking. Someone left this for us." Billie watches for just a moment, long enough to see the woman kneel down, pick up the box, and smile. A small, tired smile that feels like sunrise. Billie starts the engine. The van hums softly as she drives away. The first box delivered. 11 more stops to go. And a secret she plans to keep forever. The second house is only a few streets away, tucked between two tall palm trees that sway lazily in the morning breeze. The neighborhood looks worn down. Chipped fences, faded murals, an old swing creaking in the yard. But there's something peaceful about it too. Like life here keeps going no matter what. Billie parks a block away, kills the engine, and just sits for a moment, listening. The world is soft. Birds, a barking dog in the distance, someone's radio playing faintly through a window. No one knows she's here, and that's exactly how she wants it. She grabs another box from the back of the van. This one's lighter. She packed it for a single mom with a small child, or at least that's what she imagined when Rosa sent the addresses. There's baby formula inside, some canned soup, and a little box of crayons she found in a drawer. As she walks up the narrow path to the door, she feels her heartbeat again, that same rush as before. But this time, it isn't nerves. It's something deeper. She sets the box down, carefully positions the note, from a friend, then presses the doorbell. The soft ding echoes through the quiet street. She steps back quickly, slipping behind a nearby hedge, hidden from view. A few seconds pass. Nothing. Then the door opens. A young woman stands there, her hair messy, a blanket draped over her shoulders. She blinks in surprise, then spots the box. She hesitates, looks around, as if expecting to catch someone in the act, but the street is empty. Billie holds her breath. The woman kneels down, reads the note, and lets out a small laugh that sounds more like relief. She picks up the box and whispers, barely audible, "Thank you, whoever you are." The door closes. Silence returns. Billie exhales slowly, realizing she's been smiling the whole time. She wipes a tear she didn't notice forming. Back at the van, she sits for a while before starting the engine. The city is waking up, kids heading to school, people leaving for work, and she drives past them quietly, just another car on the road. No one waves. No one looks twice. And yet, two families in this city will eat tonight, not knowing who to thank. She glances in the mirror at the remaining boxes stacked neatly behind her. 28 left. She whispers to herself, "Let's keep going." By the time Billie reaches the next neighborhood, the sky has turned heavy again, that dull silver that always comes before the rain. She parks near an old apartment building, its walls faded by years of sun and graffiti. The smell of wet asphalt fills the air. Somewhere down the street, a baby is crying, and a radio plays soft Spanish music from an open window. She sits behind the wheel for a moment, watching tiny drops begin to gather on the windshield. The wipers squeak once, then stop. It feels like the whole world is holding its breath again. In the back seat, only a few boxes remain for this round. She grabs one, smaller this time, and holds it close as she steps out. The first cold drops of rain land on her hoodie, darkening the fabric. She doesn't rush. The sound of rain has always calmed her, like the world is washing itself clean. Billie walks across the courtyard, shoes splashing lightly in the puddles. The box feels heavier than it should, though she knows it's just her heart beating too fast. At the third door on the right, she stops. The number matches. She kneels, sets the box down gently, and smooths out the note on top. From a friend. For a moment, she just stays there, watching the ink smear slightly where the raindrops touch it. Then she presses the doorbell and takes a few quick steps back. Inside, she hears the faint shuffle of feet, someone coming. The door creaks open, and a little boy appears first, barefoot, maybe 5 or 6. He peers out, wide-eyed, then looks down at the box. "Mom," he yells. "There's something here." A woman rushes to the door, startled. She glances outside but doesn't see anyone. Billie's already moved behind the corner, heart pounding, soaked by the rain. She peeks out just enough to see the woman kneel beside the boy, open the box, and lift the lid. The child gasps when he sees the candy bar on top. The woman covers her mouth, eyes glistening. She whispers something to her son, and he nods. Then, to no one in particular, she says softly, "Tell your friend thank you." Billie bites her lip, trying not to cry. The rain's coming harder now, dripping from her hoodie, blurring her vision. She turns back toward the van, her sneakers squeaking with every step. When she climbs inside, she wipes her face with her sleeve, pretending it's just the rain. She leans against the steering wheel, laughing quietly to herself. In a world that always wants noise and attention, she's found something different, a quiet happiness that doesn't need to be seen. The wipers start again. She drives off into the rain, a faint smile still hidden beneath her mask. By the next morning, Los Angeles is buzzing, not with noise, but with whispers. The story is spreading in ways Billie never expected. On social media, photos begin to appear. Cardboard boxes sitting on porches, front steps, apartment hallways. Each one with the same message written on a yellow note. From a friend. Someone posts, "Whoever you are, You saved my week. Another writes, I found one of these outside my mom's place in East LA groceries. Formula. Candy for the kids. We cried. No hashtags, no brands, no fame attached. Just gratitude. Just mystery. Billie scrolls through it all from her couch, curled up in a blanket, phone glowing in her hands. Her notifications are filled with news headlines too. The anonymous angel of Los Angeles? Mysterious food boxes appear across the city. Even talk shows mention it, hosts laughing about the world's kindest prank. And still, no one knows it's her. She opens a few comments under one photo, someone's worn hands holding the note up close. Thousands of strangers have left hearts and replies. One catches her attention. If the world had more friends like this, maybe we'd all be okay. Billie stares at that comment for a long time, her thumb hovering over the screen. She wants to say something, anything, to tell them she's reading, that she's glad it helped. But she can't, not without breaking the spell. Instead, she locks her phone, sets it aside, and laughs softly to herself. The irony isn't lost on her. She's been famous for half her life, and yet, this is the first time she's done something that feels truly hers. From the studio next door, Phineas is recording something, his voice echoing faintly through the wall. It's comforting, familiar, but her mind drifts back to those boxes, to the faces she'll never see again, to the quiet thanks whispered into the morning air. The city is talking now, guessing, speculating, turning kindness into a story. And Billie? She just sits there, smiling. Because for once, she's part of something beautiful that no one can trace back to her. That evening, Billie's sitting at the piano, aimlessly pressing a few soft notes that never turn into a song. Her phone buzzes beside her, a text from Maya, her assistant. Maya, hey. Weird question. Those boxes everyone's posting about. Is that you? Billie stares at the screen. Her hands freeze above the keys. She types, why would you think that? And deletes it. Then tries again. What makes you ask? A moment later, Maya replies. You asked for addresses last week. No photos, no names. And then this happens. Come on, Bill. You really think I wouldn't notice? Billie exhales, resting her chin on her palm. She can almost hear Maya's voice in her head, half worried, half amused. She finally types back. Yeah, it's me. But please, no one can know. 3 dots appear. Then a message. You could have just donated publicly. People would have joined in. Billie shakes her head, smiling sadly. She starts typing, fingers moving slower this time. If people see my name on it, they'll turn it into a trend. Not kindness. Just noise. I don't want that. There's a long pause. Then Maya sends one last text. You're a strange one, Eilish. But proud of you. Billie laughs quietly, the sound half a sigh. She leans back on the piano bench and looks toward the living room, where a few empty cardboard boxes still sit stacked by the door, the leftovers from yesterday's deliveries. Her eyes linger on them, then drift toward the window. Outside, the streetlights glow through a soft mist, painting everything in silver and gold. It's quiet again, the kind of quiet she used to hate before the fame. Now she finds peace in it. For a moment, she thinks about the people eating dinner tonight because of those boxes. About the kids opening candy bars, the mothers smiling at the handwritten notes. She whispers softly. They don't need to know who did it. They just need to feel seen. Her phone buzzes again. Another headline alert about the mysterious from a friend boxes. Billie smiles, closes her eyes, and lets the piano keys rest under her fingers. She doesn't need applause for this song. It's already playing, quietly, all across the city. It's past midnight when Billie finally turns off all the lights in her house, except one. The small lamp by the couch glows warm and golden, casting soft shadows across the room. Her laptop sits open in front of her, screen filled with photos and messages she didn't expect to see. People all over Los Angeles are still talking about the mysterious boxes. A local news anchor calls it a wave of quiet generosity. A TikTok mom cries on camera, holding up one of the yellow notes. Even a kid posted a drawing of a big smiling heart with the words, "Thank you, friend," written across it in shaky crayon lines. Billie scrolls through them slowly, one by one. Her throat tightens, not because she's sad, but because for the first time in a long time, the world feels gentle. Then she pauses on one comment, buried deep beneath thousands of others. My daughter fell asleep with a full stomach tonight. Whoever you are, thank you for giving her a reason to smile again. Billie stares at those words for a long time. She feels her eyes sting, and before she can stop herself, a single tear lands on the trackpad. She wipes it away quickly, laughing softly through it. She thinks about how strange it is that someone with millions of followers could do something and never want credit for it. That being invisible could feel better. She grabs her phone and opens her notes app, the one she usually uses for lyrics. She types a single line. Maybe the most beautiful things are the ones no one sees. She sets the phone aside and pulls her knees up to her chest, wrapping herself in a blanket. Outside, the wind hums through the trees, and somewhere far away, a siren echoes, the familiar, endless sound of the city. Her cat jumps onto the couch, curling up beside her. Billie strokes its fur absently, still staring at the screen, at that one message about the daughter who went to bed happy. No award, no headline, no applause could ever match that. She closes the laptop, turns off the lamp, and whispers into the dark. "Good night, my friends." And for the first time in weeks, she falls asleep smiling. Morning sunlight filters through the curtains, soft and gold. Billie wakes to her phone buzzing on the nightstand, dozens of notifications lighting up her screen. For a second, she thinks the secret's out, but then she sees the headlines. Neighbors start copying from a friend acts of kindness. Anonymous good deeds spread across Los Angeles, the city that gave back. Her heart skips. She sits up, scrolling fast. Photos flood her feed, new boxes, different handwriting, same words. From a friend. Not just in East LA now, but in Echo Park, Silver Lake, even downtown. Someone's left groceries on an old man's doorstep. A group of college kids packed bags for the homeless. A small bakery started delivering free bread before dawn. None of them know who started it, but all of them felt it. Billie presses a hand to her mouth, overwhelmed. It's like watching kindness grow roots, invisible, unstoppable, spreading without a name attached. She walks to the balcony, barefoot, hoodie hanging loose from her shoulders. The city stretches below, sunlit rooftops, palm trees swaying, the sound of life humming through the streets. She leans against the railing, breathing it in. From up here, the world doesn't look perfect. It looks human, messy, unpredictable, but trying. She thinks of her mom's words from years ago. If you can help, help. Maybe it really is that simple. Her phone buzzes again, a message from Maya. People are calling it the friend movement. You did this. Billie smiles, typing back one sentence before putting the phone down. No, we did. For a moment, she just stands there, letting the wind brush her hair back. Somewhere out there, strangers are helping strangers. Not for likes, not for fame, but because one quiet act reminded them it's possible. She closes her eyes, exhales, and whispers to the city below. Keep it going. And as the camera would fade out, if this were a movie, she turns, walks back inside, and disappears from view. No music, no spotlight, just a story the world will never fully know, started by a girl who didn't want to be seen, and ended with a city learning how to care again.